Welcome back, guys. God, it feels good to be able to say that. Welcome back to Life is Feudal. Yes, it's working again. For anybody that doesn't know, a patch came out a few days ago which broke loads of mods, primarily because of some big changes to the UI. So this episode, I've been testing out the new mods as they've been getting fixed. For example, like the small stockpiles. If you clicked on these before, it would just crash the game because obviously it didn't have all the new UI changes. So they've fixed that stuff now, and a big thank you to all the modders. The Caravan Extended wasn't working, and of course I needed that really to support my economy now. Without that, things just like fell apart. So so all of that stuff's been fixed. So what's in the new patch? I must admit, I do like this kind of misty effect. That does look good. But it's when it gets through to the daytime and it's too bright. They need to turn the freaking gamma down on this game, and we'll talk about that because they've made some changes to the visuals. We'll talk about that in a second. So what's in this patch? The big thing is Viking Raiders. Oh yeah, Vikings turn up in a longship and raid your village and plunder it and burn your buildings. Oh hell yeah, they do. And it starts off with like small groups. I've had groups as small as one guy, but apparently you can get groups of like 4 and 6 guys turning up and burning your buildings. And I tell you what, if you're not prepared for it, like it can actually be like seriously challenging. They'll burn the freaking whole place down if they can. So so now we've got a reason to build defenses and stuff, which is really cool. That's one thing that was kind of missing in Banished was a little bit of action. So, they have implemented random face generation for the villagers, so the villagers don't all look the same. And that is actually quite cool. Let's crank this up. Let's get through to the next day so that we can actually see. I do like the morning mist, right? But it's when it gets bright. Let's slow it down now. Like, get rid of this white. It's like the gamma's up too high. I don't understand. Seriously, I don't understand how the developers can look at this and think that looks good. Everything else is beautiful, right? Just turn the freaking gamma down for God's sake. Right. Oh yeah. Random faces. Oh, and this is quite cool. I'm going to pause this so that we can like focus on some people. So who's this guy? Oh, Baldy. We've got a Baldy. We've got a Baldy in the village. I think they call him Slaphead. Like they're always slapping him on that. Mind you, he looks pretty mean. Who else have we got? Let's have a look around. Now I've got to say, this guy spammed up. He's got a centre parting. Yeah, you need to do something about that, mate. That's not looking good. He's got a slightly oriental look to him, that one. Let's have a look. Who else? Oh, now I tell you what, the women. I'm sorry, but the women have really suffered in this patch. Because like there was just one model before, and the women were quite pretty, like yeah, pretty attractive looking. Now, not so much. Yeah, it kind of hard to see her face because she's bent over. Let's find some people who are actually standing up. Here we go. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I quite like the Mila Jovovich haircut, but. Like the face, yeah, I'd focus on your baking skills if I were you. Right, let's move on. Let's see who else is around. See, now this guy, definitely. I mean, that's kind of like, definitely like Oriental in some way. I would think maybe slightly Mongol. Looks a bit Genghis Khanish to me. Another slaphead. Let's go and have a look around here. See, very different faces, different hairstyles and all that kind of thing. I must admit, I haven't looked around at the village. I kind of had a quick look. Oh, different beard, different hair, different face. Yeah, it's all very, very different. I want to check out some of the girls because some of them I like the braided hair. That's quite nice. She's kind of okay. I must admit, the first couple of women that I looked at were not very attractive. Oh, now she's pretty. Another braid up job. Oh, yeah. See, now. Yeah. No wonder she's hiding in the grass with a face like that. Right, should we move on? I think we probably should. I tell you what, I'm looking around because I found one guy walking around the village earlier that looks like exactly like Morgan Freeman. He was walking up this street, and I don't know where he is now. He could be anywhere. But seriously, the guy looks like Morgan Freeman. Let's put Morgan Freeman in the game. Love it. What do you look like? Oh, she's actually quite pretty. Shame somebody punched her in the eyes. Never mind. Right, moving on. So they've done that. Now, they've supposedly made a load of tweaks to the visuals. Apparently, they've made loads of changes to bloom and lighting quality and all kinds of stuff. I can't see any freaking difference whatsoever. I don't. Maybe I'm blind, but I've tried the different bloom settings and I don't see any difference whatsoever. Depth of field. They've added this depth of field thing. I'm going to show you this because, like, I'm sorry, but I just don't think anybody's going to like this. I can't see how anyone's going to like this. Now, there are two plans. You can either have like a blur effect added to just the distance, or you can have it added to the distance and to the foreground, right? And I'm going to show you this. And you tell me, like, seriously? Like, so it's just the center that's in focus and everything else has got this blurred effect. I'm sorry, but I don't know who, like, the artistic director is on this game, but how can you think that is really... How could you, like, look at this and go, oh, that's awesome. They'll definitely want to play the game looking like this. I don't know. I'm sure there's going to be somebody out there who's going to say, oh, I think that looks really great. Personally, I think there's no way I'd play the game like that. Like, I've spent all this time building all of this elaborate stuff. I've got to say, with this effect on, the center part looks really good. But it's just everything else that really kind of doesn't. Like, I want to be able to see that. When I'm over here, I want to be able to see that. I don't want to see a blur. So, we're definitely not going to be using that. So, I've got to say, as far as the visual tweaks, I've got to say, I'm not, like, staggeringly impressed with that whole thing. Moving on to something else that I'm not staggeringly impressed with is the statistics. Now, I was really, really pumped for the statistics because I wanted the statistics. Oh, I've still got... Is that... No, I didn't turn it off. There we go. I was going to say, it still looks weird. There we go. Now we're back to normal. See, doesn't that look better? Actually see the castle now? Yeah, so the statistics, I was really pumped for the statistics. And when I first looked at it, I was like, okay, so this gatherer's hut, I want to know how much it's producing. So we go to here. They've reworked this UI completely. So you can see the people who are working there. Which is cool. Excellent. But here's the statistics. And at first I was like, oh, awesome. Right, so I can see how many vegetables are being produced. I can see how much fruit is being produced. And I can see everything that's being produced. Hooray! But when you actually start to want to use it, you suddenly realize that, hang on a second, first of all, there are no totals. Right? And when you click on all, what it shows you is both lines for this one. In some of it's multiple lines. But it doesn't aggregate them. So, like, what's my total here? And there's no kind of scale here. Now, this is a year, but these are broken into, like, 23 bars. Well, what the hell? And, like, what's my total for the year's production? And if I go to a 10-year graph, like, I want to see the totals for the years. I don't want to see all this spiky nonsense. So, it's still not... Now, yeah, does it give me an indication of what's being produced? Yes. But does it tell me what I actually want to know? No, it doesn't. So I've got to say, I am kind of disappointed that having put all this work into producing these very nice sexy graphs, that then they haven't actually provided the actual information that we want to see. Show me how much has been produced this year. Show me how much has been produced this year compared with last year. That's what I want to know. Okay, so that's that. What else? Now, they're saying worker and resident lists can now be seen in houses. Well, I've always been able to see this in houses. And nothing's changed. So, I don't understand that. And we've always had the inventory. This is just silly. This shows you a track of everything that's been in the house, all the inventory items over time. Why the hell do we want that? I mean, I suppose that's just like a bonus that's because it's been implemented on these. It's been implemented on, but it's completely useless. If we go to this house and look at the inventory, look at the stats. So yeah, so we can see like how many vegetables, how much fruit and whatever has been in this house. I really don't see how that's particularly useful. But never mind. And the other thing is they've worked on the optimization of the game. Now, personally, I've got over 250 people in this village, right? And running it on times 10, if I crank this up, I have never had any lag problems at all of any description, right? None. Absolutely none. Now, they've apparently boosted the performance a lot. People are saying, oh, it really works. And maybe it's, I don't know, maybe it's just people with very low-end PCs that are having all the lag problems. I don't know. I really don't know. Right, I'm going to leave it running, and I'm going to hope that we're going to get Viking Raiders show up, because I'd love to show you that. In this episode, this is going to be a relatively short episode because I've been working on like testing stuff and making sure that all the mods were working, because like the caravan extended wasn't working and these weren't working, and there's still one. Now I can live with this, but if I click on that building, because that building hasn't been updated, this is the accountant's house turned into a regular house. But if I was to click on that building, the game would crash because that mod hasn't been updated. Had the same issue with the stockpiles. They've been fixed now. Caravan extended's been fixed. I'm amazed how quickly that got fixed. The modders deserve like a lot of praise because they have adapted to these changes very, very quickly. So good job, guys. Right, what are we going to do? What are we actually going to do? Well, now that the game's working again, I can get on with building and stuff. Oh, there's one other thing that they've done. They've added they finally added the tech trees to the keep, so that if you upgrade the keep, it allows you to research new technologies. Now, again, people have been saying on the forums that's bugged, and if you research those, your people stop working and they starve to death and freeze to death. They just stand in their shop and whatever. But I don't know, there's a lot of stuff on the forums. I don't have the same bugs that other people seem to have. It's weird. For example, schools. People have been complaining that schools don't work. Right, now I've got 2 schools. The city school actually works, which is beautiful. But I've been checking out my schools. I ran the game on for like several years. Other people have been having people like not go to school and not be educated. Mine are working fine. So I really don't know why that's a problem. So I'm hoping that the tech trees are going to work for me, which would be really sweet and awesome. I just need to keep an eye out for the raiders if they show up. The thing is, I don't want to upgrade these 2 keeps, because when you upgrade them, these walls get higher. And I kind of want that exactly as it is. So one of the first things that we're going to be doing is we're going to put a keep on top of here. And we're going to start work on the main fortress, which overlooks the town. And that is going to be sweet. And I'm going to have a windy path that goes up to the main keep, which is going to be awesome. Still no Viking Raiders. Now, the other thing that I'm going to do, if we look at our barns, let's just bring up our 3 main barns. So we've got the village. We've got the Outer Barbican, and we've got the town centre. In fact, I'll bring up this one as well, because this is linked into the chain as well. Oops, try that again. There we go. Pop you up there. Now, if you look in here, there's virtually no tools and clothes in here. There's like 8 tools in here. There's like no tools in here. There's no tools in here. And these are supposed to be balanced out. Where are all our tools going? Where are all our clothes going? Because we've got freaking 800 of each. And the answer is that they're getting dumped into the markets. because I've got this thing where we're shipping all of the stuff out of this barn into these markets to fill up these markets. Everything's getting dumped into here, and that basically is not a good thing. So one thing that I'm going to be doing, I'm going to put, I've got a barn over here. I'm going to put another barn over here. In fact, like, what the hell? So that we actually do like one thing in this episode. What are we going to do? We're going to put in a barn. So I want castle. I want a castle barn. And of course it's freaking night time, so I can't see. Go away. Right, let's just slide down to time for 5. So we'll put a castle barn over here. Flip you around. Probably want you that way around. Let's next to the stockpile. That kind of works. How wide do I want that? I think we'll put it there. Actually, if I move it one forward, yeah, let's put it there. Let's have this as a little narrow street. I want little narrow streets going off the market. Like the market, I wanted that to be quite open and whatever when you're walking around. But as we get into the back streets and whatever, I want it to be more narrow. Okay, so we'll have a barn there. We'll have a barn there, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop feeding stuff into the markets, and I'm going to get all the stuff out of the markets, and yeah, we'll just have stuff going into the barns. I think that'll work a lot better. So I'm probably going to end up putting a caravan stables over here to move the stuff into this one. I may, I don't know. I think we need one more caravan stables, but we'll see how that goes. Still no Viking Raiders. What's going on with the Viking Raiders? Come on, turn up. The thing is, you can go like years without Raiders, and then you can have like 2 or 3 turn up like one after another. I must admit, I do like the mist, like in the mornings and the evenings, the mist over the village. Oh, that's a very clear night. Oh, we can see all the bright lights. See, I'm going to slow this down. Like, I love that kind of misty morning effect. That's really cool. But then the day starts, and then look, I'm going to pause it. It's just too white. Turn the damn camera down. Right, so moving on. What else? So that's kind of the primary thing, really, is going to be getting the keep built up here, upgrading it so that we can test out the new research, and sorting out the supply chain. Really, that's kind of all I need to do. And in the meantime, carry on building the walls out for the fortified town. And that's really important now with the Viking Raiders, because if they would show up, I could show you that they turn up and that they're carrying flaming torches and they throw them into your buildings and set fire to them. And if you're not prepared for it, it can actually be like quite devastating. So we get loads of tornadoes. Well, I say loads of tornadoes, not that many tornadoes. Let's crank it up. Let's see if we can get a Viking Raiders turn up. Because I'd love to show you that. So yeah, it's now that I've got all of this sorted out and it's all working again, I can get back to work. So I can get back to terraforming this and getting all my supply chains sorted out, and then hopefully we can start doing some cool stuff like online with you guys and building the main fortress, which will be sweet, and expanding the town. Oh, yeah. No, that's not the only thing. That's not the only thing. The other thing, I've decided that this over here, right, I think we're just gonna expand this with farmland over here. So, I've actually been doing a little bit of terraforming to smooth this out. I need to do a little bit over here, actually. Let's just bang. Let's just even that out a bit. This needs to be evened out a little bit more, I think. There we go. Any Viking Raiders? No, still no Viking Raiders. So yeah, I'm going to smooth this terrain out, and we're going to have like all farmland all over here. I wasn't going to do that, but the more I've looked at it, the more I've like, you know what? Now that we've expanded over here, like what the hell? May as well do it. So we'll do that. Oh, and by the way, to the person who was telling me that all my people are going to starve in 2 years, I haven't changed a damn thing. You've seen me. We've run it on, and we've got tons of food. So, no. Right. So, what else? What else can I talk to you about? See, another freaking tornado. Give me Raiders. It's doing this deliberately because I'm trying to show it to you. It won't give me blooming Viking Raiders. We'll give it a little bit more time and see if we can get Viking Raiders. But I want this to be a fairly quick video because I haven't got any building to show you. So they've done that barn. Yeah, they've done that barn now. Yeah, so okay, I tell you what. While we're waiting for the Viking Raiders, let's see if we can sort this out. So let's see. I've got to remember what the hell's going on now. Yeah, okay, that's shifting to the stockpile. This is shipping stuff out. Yeah, this one's the one that's shipping it out to the markets. Yeah. So these first four are shipping out to these four markets. So we want to stop doing that. In fact, we want to turn them around and start pulling stuff out of there. So let's get rid of those. Now, if I put in a new route, so let's put in, this is all changed around. They've changed the UI around. I want to pull, hang on. Now, hang on. How do I do an all? It's a good point. Oh yeah, here we go. They've changed it to an icon instead of. So we want to pull everything out of, say, this market and put it into. Let's put it into this barn here, right? So now we've got like 400, almost 500 tools, and almost 300 clothes, and also the hides and stuff, and the firewood that are ending up in here. It'd be kind of cool if that was in our barn chain rather than in here. So now it's going to take a while for our donkey guys to shift that stuff, but they are shifting it. Look at that. Now that's going to go into this barn here. Oh, suddenly we've got like 73 tools, and then that's all going to get moved out down the chains. Look at this. Oh, everything's starting to even up. Hooray. So yeah, I think that's the solution, is to not use the market. I would have liked to use the market because it would have been quite nice. Now, to all the people who keep saying, oh, what the hell are you doing? You're leaving your gatherers and your farmers on during winter. You need to take them off. Well, okay, first of all, I don't have anything for them to do. Right? Now, people have suggested putting in mines. And yeah, I could do that, but the thing is, I've got like tons of stuff that I can sell to buy stone and ore, so I don't need to mine. And by not moving people during the summer and winter, you get less of the problems with people ending up in houses which are a long way away from where they work. So no, I'm not going to be doing that. And plus, it removes an annoying level of micromanagement. So now I can just kind of get on with stuff and be doing it. And I don't have to worry about have I reallocated my farmers or not. We've got some chickens dying. What's going on? Oh, Mr. Wolf. Where's the farmer to kill them? He's gone AWOL. Right, well, let's have you do it. Oh, it's Jennifer Aniston. They're putting famous people in the game. They've got Jennifer Aniston, Morgan Freeman. Awesome. Right, let's and they've changed this to red from green, and that is so good. You can really see it now. Before, you couldn't see into the distance very well when it was green, but now with the red, I mean, you can pinpoint it right in the face. Boom. And that is awesome when you're going up against the Raiders. Oh, please let the Raiders show up. Okay, now I can show you the Viking Raiders. Now, you get a message that tells you the Raiders' ship has been spotted on the horizon when it shows up. And then you'll get a message saying that the Raiders have landed on the island. And look, we've got a Viking longship has arrived with a group of Raiders. And it's a shame it's nighttime. Look, they've got the wolf's head gear on. Oh, they're very nasty looking. So let's follow these guys and see what they do. Now, where are we? We are. I'm trying to see where on the island we are. I think, are we down there? Let me zoom out a little. I don't want to lose them though. That's the thing. Oh yeah. We're down. Oh, we're down here. Oh, and it's daytime now. Look, don't they look mean? Although those two look the same. So much for the random generation. They're probably like, oh my god, that happens like 1 in 1,000 times that you get two the same. Oh, this guy, these are bears. And this is a boar head. Oh, that's cool. Right, so these guys, let's, how close to the village are we now? Oh, they're not that far away, actually. Go away, autosave. Here they come. Oh, that's another one. There's 4 of them. There's 4. I missed him. He got the jump on these guys. 4 nasty Vikings coming in to pillage our village. Oh, here they come. Now, what they will do is they'll whip out their flaming torches and throw them at the buildings and set fire to them. Now, I must admit, I haven't seen them... oh, there's 5 of them now. They don't seem to be interested in the women, which I find kind of interesting. So they're all pyromaniacs, and they just, like, set fire to your whole freaking place. Oh, now the villagers have killed one. Oh, look, because she's a hunter, and the hunters will defend your village. She's got a sword out. The women do all the work in my village. The men do nothing. But what you can do is you can go... Oh, he's fighting. Gowil. He's another hunter. Who are you going to fight? He's ignoring them. You gonna fight somebody? Yes! Oh, that's it. Oh, yes, my hunters are doing the job and killing the raiders. But you can go into first person if you want to. And this is kind of fun, actually. Oh, no, don't kill him. You know what? I'm going to toot my horn. I'm going to race ahead of him before that woman can kill him. And I'm going to put an arrow straight through his face. Oh, well, I would. But I've realised now I've tooted my horn, I can't use my bow. Oh. Oh, the Viking Raiders are all dead now. And I didn't shoot one in the face. Oh. I'm disappointed. But you know what? There's going to be loads of opportunities in the series to do that. So there you go. That's Viking Raiders. And you can see that if you don't have hunters around to defend, then they'll just wander through and they'll just set fire to everything. They will burn your village to the ground. Raiders are like pretty bad news unless you're on the ball. So there you go. Now, while I've been running the game, like in between, because I've been waiting for Viking Raiders to show up, I have actually run into a couple of problems. I found a problem with this building where the sheep started starving, and I was thinking, like, why the hell's that happening? Because we've got loads of oats in this barn. There's no issue. When I went into first person to try and deliver some oats to stop all the sheep from starving, I couldn't access the inventory of this building, and then it just fixed itself. Like if I go in now I can open the inventory. So I said oats, hay, but we've got loads of. Well, there's loads of hay around. So is there hay in, not in this barn, this warehouse? I don't know. There's loads of hay somewhere. There's certainly loads of hay over here. Where are we? Yeah, we got loads of hay over here. But yeah, you just couldn't access the inventory of that building. So there is definitely a bug going on there. And the other thing is, when I was waiting for the Viking Raiders, I actually ran it on for like, I don't know. I ran it on for like at least 5 or 6 years. And Viking Raiders didn't show up. So I actually reloaded back to a previous save, and that's when I got the Raiders. But when I was running that on, my students stopped being educated, and I actually watched what happened. And basically, when they get to the age of 3, they start going to school, and they were going to the school, fine, no problem. As soon as they turned 4 years old, they stopped going to school. Now, I've looked on the forums. There's already a fix out for it. There is a mod. An education fix mod, so I'm definitely going to be loading that up to make sure that that doesn't occur again. So there you go. That's the patch. It's a bit of a mixed bag. Some very good things. Love the Viking Raiders. Love all the famous people in the village. Are you Morgan Freeman? No, no. I can't find Morgan Freeman. I've been looking around for him, but I can't find him. I like the fact that they are adding new stuff into the game, the tech tree, all of that kind of stuff. But I've got to say, they still need to work on the visuals. The stats, for God's sake, please sort the stats out. And yeah, it has seemed to introduce one or two bugs into the game. But I still love this game, and I still think that this is one of the best games I have ever played. It is awesome. The stuff you can build, the stuff you can do. As long as you use a few mods, then this game absolutely rocks. All right, we will leave it there. I'm going to go off and start getting on with the building and the developing and sorting out my logistics chains and all that kind of stuff. And I'll be back with a proper episode very soon. I'll catch you for that. Peace out.